We're back for the discussion of Poltergeist, and if you watched our review, we weren't too fond of the movie. It's okay for what it is, which is a PG-13 horror movie that's for a very, very select, small audience. I keep coming back to the characters because, like you said, there's no body count in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I spoiled that.
There's no body count in the movie, but even without the body count being in the movie, I felt like these weren't just, obnoxious characters that they're going to set up to kill off.
It's kind of shocking because they did have one obnoxious character who probably should have been killed off.
Which one?
The guy who was
the ghost hunter?
One of the ghost hunters who was the
that guy.
blasé guy who was about to get his head drilled in.
The red shirt.
Yeah, I was like, do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had one of those classic horror movie things where you've got, was it certain death and relative safety, and he chooses to stick his arm in the portal thing and try to find the drill. I mean, why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because it, on a technical level, it did the stuff that I would want a horror movie to do, as far as it wasn't all jump scares. I don't think there was even... Was there a jump scare?
Yeah, there was a couple.
The clowns were jump scares.
The clowns,
and then
the
with
trees.
the cards behind him when he turns around the kid
All
when he
of a
walks
sudden,
into the room.
arms grabbing at people.
There's the one that they show in the trailer of the
We're
girl
so
getting pulled up
desensitized to
the
that
stairs.
Mm-hmm.
We are, and a lot of stuff was shown in the trailer too. A lot of the actual scares in the movie were shown in the trailer, so you kind of knew they were happening. If you didn't know the clown was going to jump off the table, that scare might have landed a little bit more.
But we saw that.
But
in the trailer.
we saw that in the trailer. Yeah. We saw the girl get pulled up the stairs in the trailer. I just felt like it wasn't shot in, POV, Janko vision. They didn't spend a whole lot of time with the drone. They used the drone well instead of it being a found footage thing.
Right.
I felt like all the elements were there for it to work. It's just it couldn't decide if it wanted to commit to being actually scary, to actually have it kill someone, or if it wanted to be more of a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing where occasionally Sam Rockwell cracks a joke and occasionally other people, sort of make light of it or say something funny. The kids even get funny lines here and there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it couldn't quite work for straddling the fence. The biggest problem that I had with it actually was it built up really nicely to the girl getting pulled into the closet.
Yes.
I felt like everything up to that point was very well executed.
Yeah, okay.
I really do. I felt like it was really well built up and really well executed, that first act, first half or so. But then once she was in there and they decide, we're not going to call the police, we're going to go after the ghost hunters, they sort of act like they aren't that concerned about her. People are just hanging around and joking and talking and...
Yep.
It was really strange.
They were really blasé from the get-go about impossible technology things going on. Oh, it's probably just a bad ground wire. Yeah, no, your lights are spinning. That doesn't happen.
That chair flew out from under you, and we all witnessed it.
You should have been a little more freaked out for a little while before. So
that's true. I mean, the reaction of the characters in the movie probably had a big effect on how scary the scenes were. Because they weren't bothered by much of anything either.
Yeah, you sense that it doesn't feel emotionally true. And so kind of,
Almost like the director forgot to tell him there was a special effect that was going to happen here.
Yeah, so be freaked out for a little longer.
Yeah.
One thing I was impressed with was when they make contact with what was her name? Marianne in this one? The little girl? Madison. That's what it is. When they make contact with her before they call in the big exorcist guy, the lights fall down and they cast her shadow on the wall. And I thought that was really well done.
I think a lot of the effects were good. I mean, I think the acting was well done.
Especially the kids. The kids were really good actors.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way around, like I felt like they got solid performances. It's just there's a tone problem. It really comes down to a tone problem. It's not scary enough to be a horror movie. It's not like a horror comedy. Like it's not like it could have gone the Ghostbusters route. Or a little bit more, like not total Ghostbusters route, but it could have gone a little bit more that direction and had,
Well, they did call them instead of the police, and there was ectoplasm.
Yeah.
It's true.
But there wasn't, like, wisecracking, and there wasn't, like, we felt safe the entire movie, right?
Very much so.
And if you feel safe for the entire horror movie, you might as well make it funny, because that makes it more entertaining. Like, if the audience is in on the joke that these people are being terrorized and...
I feel like there's like 2 or 3 times they could have really just broken the fourth wall and it would have worked.
I was going to say, yeah.
Like, he's literally put his arm through a wall. I'm like, dude, address... Because he's already looking through when he was looking at... when he dropped his cord in there and he put his arm through, he's literally looking out towards the audience. I kind of want to him address that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But, yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where it's like, there is such a pile of trash under PG-13 horror that I'm like, this is pretty good. Like, this was...
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been so much worse. Like, it had my attention. I did feel like that section in the middle where they kind of forgot about the little girl was weird, and that tone thing was a problem. But honestly, like, it could have been a much longer 95 minutes than it was.
It was mercifully short on that one, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was 95 minutes. Like, it wasn't...
I was surprised how quickly they got the girl back.
And that was an interesting twist. Like, they get her back and then...
and nope. The car situation. That was one of the 3 points of the movie that I was like, that is super interesting. Just take the whole damn house down. Yeah. Great.
Have you seen Insidious?
No, I've not.
So,
I have.
Insidious has, like, the same plot as this movie.
The soul missing from the body and they're trying to get it back.
But instead, like, in that movie, it's... They don't figure it out until, like, 2/3 of the way through. Like, the kid is in a coma, but the reason he's in a coma is because his soul is in the other dimension. And they bring in, like, a... whatever she is, like a...
Clairvoyant?
Yeah, something
medium
like that.
Kind of thing.
She's like a medium, and she tells him where everything's like where he's at and all that. Like they send the dad after him, and the dad goes into the other dimension, and like all the monsters are in the other dimension. It's like mostly the scary stuff is happening over there. It's not really like the house that's doing it. It's like a haunted kid. Because they actually switch houses at one point, which is like subverts your expectations. You're like, we need to move out of this house right now. You expect them to be like, nah, we'll stick it out. And it's like, yeah, we're moving, and they move, and it keeps happening. But the whole idea of like someone's soul being in like another place and then sending somebody after it, like that felt like Insidious to me.
I thought of that too.
But Insidious is a much, much, much better movie.
It's more tense.
I guess a lot of it, because listening to you explain it, I'm like, yeah, you know, it was better than most of the PG-13 horror movies that we go see.
Yeah, I mean, if I had like,
I hold Poltergeist on a pedestal. Like, it was a great movie for its time. It's classic.
yeah,
And this just completely failed to live up to that name.
that's fair enough. I can live with that.
I do like Sam Rockwell, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if I had to watch a PG-13 horror movie again, like, this one would be closer to the top of the list than, like, 20 movies that I saw in the last year.
I'd rather watch this than The Pyramid.
Oh yeah, or The Quiet Ones, or
I never watched that.
Was the original Paranormal Activity PG-13? I can't recall anything happening in
it
there.
had to be.
Right, because almost nothing happened in that movie.
It had to be. There's economic benefits to being PG-13, and Paranormal Activity was a big
release, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big hit on a nothing budget.
Right.
They made it for like $1 million or something crazy like that, and which, if you just have a found footage movie that's like all shot on nasty cameras for real, like
You can go nuts with it.
you can do that. If nothing happens in your movie for 100 minutes, like, yeah, you can do that for just about nothing. So, but that's a different story for a different day. Yeah, I mean, I like this better than I like found footage movies. Like, found footage movies just bore the hell out of me.
Yeah, there was definitely a because it was, they did put some production value into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's art directed, it's shot well, it's...
It had really good pans with the cameras too. That I was kind of a doorway pan. They were moving from the bottom to up towards when the little kid was coming to the door.
Yeah.
And it looked really nice.
Yeah, I honestly think, I mean, if they'd figured out what tone they wanted to use and stuck with it, I think it would have been a much better movie. But because it just sort of vacillates between not really scary horror and not quite a comedy, it just never quite works. And
It felt really weird.
the tension just falls apart once the girl disappears. Like, I felt they really built up that first act really nicely, where like they're giving you a payoff every couple of minutes, something weird's happening every couple of minutes, and then the girl disappears, and it's really built up well, and you're like, okay, what are they going to do with this? And it's like, oh, they're going to go sit in the room and talk with some people. Oh. And then they're going to call the ghost hunter guy when they find out they can't do it themselves, and the ghost hunter guy is going to come in and be charming and make everybody smile. And
yeah, that felt really weird.
yeah,
It was...
I can't remember the name of the movie that guy was in. It was like one of the new Hammer movies. It might have been The Quiet Ones. But that's an example of a like god awful PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Like, no. Never again. Anyway, that's Poltergeist. If you like the way we do these videos, please like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends. Check out all the written and video reviews. Check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and I'll fix the poltergeist in my mouth. Thanks for watching.